Hello everybody, Budleyneck here. Today we are doing 11 Minecraft mods to enhance the end, Forge Edition 115 and 116. All of the mods I show today work with 115, and most of them have been updated to 116. I'll put what version it works with up at the top by the name. And we are still growing so fast, I honestly cannot believe it. Thank you guys so much. We just hit 18,000 subscribers. Every time I make a video, we've got so many new subscribers. It's unbelievable to me. Thank you, every one of you. Thank you so much. And today's shout out goes to Gabriel. I get this question all the time down in the comments. The program that I use to edit config files is called Atom. That's A-T-O-M. It's an amazing text editor. You can use it to write code. You can do everything with it, and it's free, completely free. And thank you, Gabriel, for watching, commenting, and subscribing. All right, you guys, let's get to the mods. Getting to the end is a very important part of the end, and we're going to enhance how we get to the end with the Immersive Portals mod for Forge. I recently covered the Fabric 116 version of this for the Nether, but I got to use it again here. I mean, I don't know if there's a cooler way to get to any other dimension. This mod is just amazing. I just can't get enough of it. And if you're worried about jumping down, they give you slow fall. They thought of everything. They've got you covered. We could also use the stacked dimension features of this mod, and the end is always above you, which is kind of an eerie feeling. But that means we're essentially getting rid of the void. That means that if you do fall off of the end, even if you don't survive the fall, you at least have a chance at recovering your items. And if you get really lucky, you might land in water. The End Portal Recipe mod adds a few new features to Minecraft. You can tell by the name, the main feature is a recipe to create end portal frames. By default, you're actually able to mine end portal frames if you have Silk Touch on your pick, and when you mine them, they'll just show up in your inventory. It does this to prevent them from accidentally getting destroyed. You can adjust whether or not you need Silk Touch or if they automatically go into your inventory in the config file. This mod also makes the dragon drop an egg every time it's beat, and the first time that you beat the dragon, you'll get one in your inventory and there'll be one on the obsidian pillar. Dungeons Plus adds 4 dungeons to Minecraft, 3 in the overworld and 1 in the end. Every dungeon added by this mod has mob spawners and treasure to be found. The End Ruins is surrounded by dilapidated obsidian pillars, and as you can see, if you break into the middle of these, they have phantom spawners in the bottom. On the inside, you'll find an Enderman spawner on the bottom floor and on the top floor, along with a bonus dragon egg on the top floor. If you pair this mod with some of the other ones I'm going over today, a dragon egg is a pretty good treasure. And a very nice touch that they've added with this dungeon is they finally show us what the Endermen have been doing with all the blocks they've been stealing. The Endergetic Expansion mod aims to improve every aspect of the end. We can see improvement already where the dragon fight takes place, with runes and lamps that light up when you beat the Ender Dragon, as well as purple flames and runes on top of the obsidian pillars. They've also added the Poise Forest, which is a beautiful and strange biome, filled with glowing purple trees, splotchy moss-covered ground, 2 new mobs, some new plants, and some very strange behaviors. The mobs introduced are the Booflo and the Puff Bag. The Booflos like to hop and float around and eat balloon fruits and puff bags. You can tame and ride Booflos with balloon fruits. And yeah, I realize how ridiculous this sounds. Anyway, puff bags will puff around and pollinate balloon buds. After pollinating at least one, it will teleport back to its hive. If a puff bag or its hive is attacked, it will puff over the attacker's head and attempt to sting them. This mod also adds quite a few items like the Booflo vest, so you can hop around just like a Booflo. It also adds all the items you expect to get from a new variation of wood, like logs, strip logs, planks, stairs, fences, boats, you know, all the stuff. And last but definitely not least, it adds balloons of every color. This is a good mod. I'd have to say the void is the scariest part about the end. One wrong step and you lose everything that you've worked so hard for. The Forgiving Void mod takes some of the fear out of this. With this mod installed, once you reach the bottom of the void, it teleports you back to the top of the world, and as long as you have full health or halfway decent armor, you'll survive the fall. And honestly, even if you don't survive the fall, at least this gives you a chance to get your items back. The End Reborn mod adds a little variety to the End, whether it's the purple splotchy moss-covered ground or the essence ore that's sprinkled into the obsidian. You can even choose to make the Endermen spawn in random sizes. As you're traveling through the End, you'll see mushrooms growing out of the sides of the islands and moss hanging off the edge. This mod also adds 2 new structures to the End. The first one we're going to look at is called the Crypt. From the inside, you can tell they've done a very good job of keeping a vanilla feel. This reminds me a lot of an End city. As you explore the Crypt, you're likely to come across the new mob that's added in this mod, the Purple Guardian. Usually he's standing here guarding the loot. At this point, he behaves pretty much exactly like an iron golem. He'll attack hostile mobs and he'll leave you alone. The second structure added by this mod is the End Shipwreck. If you find one of these, you're going to find a little bit of loot and a few purple blocks, and there isn't really a ship under there. This is pretty much all there is to it. This mod also adds a couple ores to the overworld and a couple new sets of tools. It adds a set of armor that actually prevents the levitation effect if you wear it, which is pretty cool. And it has a few utility items. A couple of mentionable ones are the Ender Transmitter that gives you easy access to your Ender chest, and the Purple Navigator that you can use to find End cities. It works just like an Eye of Ender, except it locates End cities. Pandoras Creatures adds a few new mobs to Minecraft. Only one lives in the End, so that's who we're looking at today. As you explore the End, you may come across an End Prison, which is a new structure added by this mod. Inside, you'll find the End Troll. It's a mysterious creature that was put here a long time ago. If you're able to defeat it, you'll gain some of his skin that you can use to make troll boxes, which are shulkers with double the storage. Today's video is all about the End, so we're not going over everything this mod adds, but it really adds so much more, and every creature is well thought out and unique in its own way. It's really a great mod. Progressive bosses spices up the boss fights. It affects the Wither and the Ender Dragon. Today we're only going to talk about the Ender Dragon though. Every time you beat a boss, it increases that boss's difficulty level for you by 1. Every time its difficulty level goes up, it gets 15% more damage, has 10 more health, regenerates health faster, and has more armor points. On top of all of that, the bosses get new skills and abilities that also increase in power as the difficulty increases. This is a lot of fun. I know a lot of us find no challenge in beating the bosses anymore, and for me anyway, this definitely helps. Dragon Mount's Legacy enhances the End by enhancing the reward that you get for beating the Ender Dragon. With this mod installed, place the egg down and right-click it to begin the hatching process. After a couple of seconds, you'll see what kind of dragon you're going to get. This is going to be a forest dragon. I've covered this mod in a previous Mods of the Week video, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but this should definitely be included in mods that enhance the End. If you haven't seen that video yet, and it sounds like something you'd be interested in, I'll leave a link to that down below in the description. Once your dragon hatches, you can tame it immediately with raw fish. Now that he's tamed, all you have to do is wait for him to grow up. You can't ride dragons until they're fully grown. It does take quite a while for these guys to grow up though. Now that he's full grown, you can actually saddle him and ride him, and this is where all the waiting finally pays off. The game mechanics used to fly these dragons are amazing. It feels great. They go wherever you look, so if you want to fly up, you look up and go forward, and they'll actually go where you're looking. Not only are dragons a great way to get around in your world, they'll also protect you. They can make short work of any zombie invasion that you're going to have. And if they do take damage, you can heal them with any kind of raw meat. And if you're not a fan of the forest dragon, or if you just like having a bigger selection, there's actually 7 more dragons, each with their own unique theme and look. There's got to be a dragon here that fits everybody. Oh, the Biomes You'll Go is a massive mod. It adds 70 new biomes to Minecraft. And in doing so, it adds over 700 new items. Unfortunately, only one of those biomes is for the End, and it's called Ibis Fields, which granted isn't a lot, but at least it's something to spice up the End. Especially with these tall obsidian spires, this would be a great place to farm obsidian, And I gotta say, I really like this animated ground cover. It almost looks like a liquid. And honestly, you just can't go wrong putting this mod in your mod pack. The biomes that it adds to the overworld in the Nether are all amazing. They all look fantastic. Shulker's Faithful Factories opens the possibilities of creating more farms and making more resources renewable. I recently covered this mod in a Mods of the Week video. I'll put a link to that video down in the description if you want to get more details on the rest of this mod. But since we're focusing on mods that enhance the end, we're only going to focus on the Shulker Factory today. Shulker Factories are very rare structures that will spawn in the end. They actually have 1/10 the chance of spawning as an end city. You can actually find maps to these factories while you're exploring end cities. These structures are a lot of fun. They're randomly generated using 30 different hand-designed pieces. These pieces contain a lot of variation too. There's some that contain traps, loot, restaurants, enchanting areas, brewing stations. They have Eltons, and these things are loaded with beds just in case you want to take a nap. Once you've worked your way to the top, you'll find a Shulker spawner, which is amazing. That makes Shulkers farmable now, and you'll have an unlimited supply of Shulker boxes. And yeah, like I said, watch out for traps. They're all over the place. And that is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for sticking around to the very end. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, you know what to do. Hit the like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Thank you so much for watching. Keep playing. Keep having fun. We will see you guys next time. Bye.